saved us. We'll just go ahead and do the whole intro again, right? Thank you very much, mate. Right here, look, there's the intro.
Derpy. Anchor.
Thank you, Derpy. Thank you very much. I forgot to split the tracks.
Derpy.
Hello and welcome in to this intro. We'll just cut that other part out. I'm Jonathan C. Walsh. I'd said sort of joke about Cecil at the start. Doesn't work a second time. This is my co-host Stephen John McLaughlin, sipping on the massive King Fisher beer and treating it like the Jules Rimet World Cup from back in the 1960s.
I'm taking myself into my panchayat environment with my King Fisher.
Stephen,
sitting with my bros.
Stephen, I wish it was a panchayat environment today. I was thinking about
the weather
you're
talking about.
Yes, a warm environment today. Ungodly amounts of rain have fell upon this fucking shit stain of a city that we stay in the last 3 days. I want to say about a month's worth of precipitation has battered us for the last 3 days. And it's continuing tomorrow.
It's horrid. It really is horrid.
Not content with the rain, it's fucking penile shrinkingly cold as well. So we've got rain, we've got wind, and we've got cold.
You know how we are obviously on Instagram, John, as you know, and obviously Anna Mia is part of the team, is big on Instagram, and I saw one of our posts earlier on today was a Christmas one, and bearing in mind she's in Australia, and it's
fucking roasting.
It's their summer. They're coming into their summer, so would you take that over our Christmas weather?
I wouldn't take that, Stephen, because you take that weather and you take the wildlife that comes with that weather, and I'm simply not going to accept an environment which has spiders the size of a dinner plate scurrying under your floorboards, and you can hear them.
Yeah.
I've said this many times before. We had a person from Australia in a chat one time, and I was talking about huntsman spiders, and they says it's all right, they're harmless. They're not the black widow or false widow ones.
Was it Ruth you were talking to?
No, it wasn't Ruth. No, it was someone else. It's all right. You can hear them running under the floorboards. I'm like, whoa.
No.
No spider on earth should ever be fucking heard. No. You should never hear a spider running, ever.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If you hear them, then you're aware of them.
And but they're so big, Steve.
I don't know. Can you run from them? Probably not. Probably outrun you.
I could outrun it, yeah. 100% I could outrun it.
I'm saying little ones are big over here. Those ones that like that can move. You know?
I fucking hate them all. I hate them all. I understand they serve a purpose, but I'm an arachnophobe.
John, I've been, just to sort of change the subject, because I know you don't like to talk to spiders too much, but talk about spiders, not talk to spiders.
But I was looking, I'm just quickly interjecting, I'll let you back in. Looking on the phone.
Interjecting.
Interjecting the interjection. Cranberries, spiders.
Right, okay.
They put spiders on cranberries as pesticides. There is literal fucking lakes with cranberries sitting, and there's thousands of spiders. I will never eat another cranberry again.
Nah, I don't like cranberries.
The
only cranberries I like were the band.
Yeah. Without the spiders. I searched the cranberry spiders up. It came up on my phone. I fucking jumped. Just to sight you on my phone.
I've been going down a rabbit hole, John, in terms of YouTube videos, music videos, that is, in terms of deconstructing songs, which I know we've obviously got the technology to do that now, where you can separate tracks, etc. Some of them are really good, some of them are, you can sort of hear the bleed over from other tracks and the singing and stuff like that. But I was listening to Happy Christmas War Is Over, the John Lennon one today, and it was the breakdown of the bass, breakdown of the drums, the percussion, and then I think it was the guitar and the strings, and then the singing. And I think, I can't remember if it was the backing singing after that, the Yoko and the kids kind of thing. Phenomenal. You don't really appreciate how good that song is until you feel the breakdown. I know you do, John, but just in
my favourite
general,
part of the song, and I'm still not sure because I've not really deep dived into the instrumentation, if that's a word, is the...
It's so clear, that bit, and the deconstruction
What
bit.
is that? Is that strings?
I think it's strings,
That's really good.
It
really
almost
good.
sounds, when I was listening to that bit and it was reminding me of something, and I don't know if it was maybe like an old western or something like that.
Yeah.
That sort of effect.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Kind of a banjo, almost, I don't know what it was, but phenomenal. And it just, as you say, you can deep dive into these things, and I've done that. I've done it with, you know that there's this chap that's done it with Free as a Bird and Real Love, and I just hope Peter Jackson goes back and does what he did with Now and Then to those two tracks.
Well, we were talking about that. A lot of Beatles fans were speaking about modernising those ones. They're now 30 plus years old.
Yeah.
Well, coming up for 30 years old.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic for the time. And the work they did, analog, breaking down, also Jeff Lynne breaking down those audio home tracks, probably mono tracks from Lennon's sort of tapes, late 70s, was wondrous. There was metronomes in there. It was all on the one track, piano, voice. How he split them is fucking beyond me. I mean, ridiculous. A genius. But we've came quite a bit, not even in the last 30 years, but we're probably at the same stage as Jeff Lynne was 5 years ago. Yeah. It's really in the last 3, 4, 5 years, it's fucking exponentially boomed.
It's incredible, isn't it? You always think you're at the point of nothing else can be invented, and then they do it. They do it once again.
Well, I mean, you say that, but then video games, which we spoke about, I mean, they've stagnated. Like, there was a point in the early 2000s, late 90s, where every iteration of a game, every iteration of a console, there was a ginormous spike in progress in terms of graphics and the way that the engines were working and just I don't know, the mechanics of the game. It just seemed to shoot up a level every release. You think of the Nintendo 64 from the Super Nintendo, I think it was, or whatever the fuck that one was. I never had it. I had a Genesis. From an Amiga to that, to the GameCube, to the first PlayStation, to the Xbox, to the 360, to the PS5, were just fucking shot. But it seems to have stagnated. So, not the case in every medium of entertainment, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, what is the next stage? That's the question, isn't it? What is the next stage of video games? I mean, it's going to be as lifelike as we are right now, because
you see that shit?
They're as close to it as they can probably get, and it still looks off-putting. You still get that weird, what do they call it, uncanny valley thing going on. They're never going to escape that with humans. We just can't accept that in terms of our process.
But I don't like it either, Stephen. I don't know about you. I don't actually like the concept of hyper-realistic video games.
It's soulless, yeah.
I liked shit like Banjo-Kazooie back in the day, and Spyro, and off the top of my head, I'm thinking now, there's other examples. Rayman, I think, was another one.
Yeah.
Little guy with the gloves. I liked the sort of cartoonised. I liked the side-scrolling aspect of games back in the day.
Yeah, Mario was the one that kicked that kind of thing off, I suppose. Mario's
another one, yeah.
Well, it wasn't really. I mean, there was ones before that, obviously. Jet Set Willy and Manic Miner and all that was kind of it, but I think it kind of propelled when Mario came out. But no, you're absolutely right, John. I love those games. I love the 2D sort of left to right, kind of across the screen thing. And some of the football games, soccer games, that is, were like that as well. Sensible Soccer was the overhead one. You had Match Day, which was sort of left to right, but it was like the pitch was like a bowling alley. It was so thin. It was ridiculous. Emlyn Hughes Soccer, that was another one I loved. But no, I think the most important thing for me with games is just keeping those graphics up to a high spec. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, I think that's a very good high spec graphic game for a game that's probably about 6 years old now. It still holds up, but it's the story. It's single player story is very important. Multiplayer in terms of online, you just do what you want to do in those things anyway. I mean, there's set modes and stuff like that, but that's just a free-for-all. You can make it whatever you want to make it. But in terms of single player, there is something certainly missing. I'm trying to think of the sort of last sort of game that I invested in. It was a Call of Duty one, maybe about 3 years ago. In single player, I'm talking about. It was a red cover. I can't remember what it was called though. But it was a really good storyline. It was that time. Do you remember that time I wasn't well at Christmas, John? I was absolutely vomiting all over the place. It's caused a fucking hernia.
Is that what it was? I thought it was the Chinese we got. You bought it?
Yeah, I bought it, I paid for it. Literally paid for it later.
That's fucking dog, man. I'm going to kill him.
That was used. I think everyone was round here for Boxing Day. And I was in the house just setting up the new Xbox. And I had that game. I'll look it up once I stop rabbiting, but it's a really good game. If you still get your Xbox, I don't know if you'll be able to play it.
I'm potentially going to get another Xbox. Make it a new one.
One of the series ones.
Yeah.
I think
for GTA coming out.
Yeah. We'll have to. I mean, that'll be such a laugh when that comes out. We had so much fun with 4 and 5, particularly 4. I've always felt 4 was more fun than 5. 5 was really good in terms of aesthetics and stuff like that, and just discover new places and all that. But there's something really fun about GTA 4, set in New York or Liberty City, whatever it's called.
It
And
was
the
schematic.
characters in it. I mean, the graphics now are poor, as I mentioned a few weeks ago. Going back to it, I thought I'm going to revisit this, and there was a lot of people online. It surprises me how many people still play these games.
It's the same with Vice City. I was watching,
Yeah.
I think it was Toasty back in the day when I was watching her on Twitch, when there was this great sort of Scottish Glasgow area Twitch community, and they were all streaming regular during COVID. Felt as shit because it was bickering and backstabbing as ever, and trying to go after Limmy, great Scottish comedian who's the sort of granddaddy of Scottish Twitch.
Yeah.
He set them all up and gave them what boosts in viewership, raided them, allowed them to get partner status, and then they were all trying to stab him in the back and whatnot, and it all felt as shit. But I think she was playing Vice City back a couple of years ago, and I couldn't believe how bad the graphics were, because I remember it, like Lance Vance and whatnot, and it was revolutionary back in the day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about though. Maybe I'm talking shit when I'm saying there's not been a momentous jump. Maybe it's just I'm not getting back to these games. Maybe there has been continued momentous jumps and.
But we've talked about this with GTA 6. They're going to have to pull something really special out of the bag in terms of topping the previous one from 2013.
I think Red Dead's the sort of, what would you call it?
The benchmark.
Yeah, no, there's a word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it. It's a sort of script to follow in terms of the mechanics, the lived-in world, and a single player.
Yeah.
It's sort of extent, just everything's changing and evolving all the time. That depth, that
realism. One thing that really annoys me about Red Dead Redemption 2, the online, is that daylight doesn't stay about for too long.
No.
And I don't know if that's a graphics thing, if it's easier to do, nighttime, I don't know. Because
we know that back in the day.
Feels like fucking eternity, you're in the dark.
Yeah.
And you're only in the daytime.
Scotland just now, yeah.
That's what it feels like, yeah. And we don't need that. We need even virtual sunshine we will appreciate. That's how desperate we are here.
Yeah, I think I don't get that seasonal depression thing that a lot of people get. Scotland wouldn't have a population if we all had that. It's just like fucking 7 months of the year, it's just shit. I feel for football players that come over here, that come from sunny climes.
I wonder why, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally staying in work today. There's a lot of black guys working clearly from like warmer climates, and they're bringing the music in and listening. I was getting really fucking like, it's starting to anger me because I'm thinking of how clear the water is. I can see the water in this environment. This music's been created. I can feel the heat. I can see the crystal. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know exactly if that's, but it's kind of like tropical Caribbean sort of vibes from the music, and I'm like, I can see the water. I can see the beach. I can see the sort of pina colada or something like that. Something I wouldn't drink, but it's there. It's aspirational.
I would take it if I could have that environment.
Exactly. And then I'm looking outside at how fucking hellish it is here, and I'm like,
it's constantly dark.
It's bad for me, but I feel for those guys.
Where is it in the world where it's only light for like 4 hours?
Well, St. Petersburg is permanently daylight for a long time, then I think it flips. Right. The North Pole...
See, I don't think I'd like that.
I think the North Pole may be perpetually in darkness for like 5 months or something.
Oh, see that depresses me.
People up there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind visiting it once, but I wouldn't want to stay for 5 months.
I would not go anywhere near there for any money on earth. No. Because there's polar bears there. And they're the single most terrifying. Is that in the same category as
space for you, John? Yeah. And the deep sea?
I hate the deep sea.
Yeah.
I'm fucking utterly terrified. I can't even look at it on a map. I
freak.
I actually get the creeps. It gives me the worst thing ever is when you go onto maybe Google Earth or Google Maps, and even it doesn't have to be satellite. If it's satellite, it's exponentially sort of multiplied though the uneasiness. But when you click on something, then it just randomly takes you to the middle of just nothing, and you zoom out. And it's like, this is not going anywhere.
They used to do this thing on aeroplanes. I don't think they do it now, but they used to bring up the monitor and show you where your plane exactly was. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
don't do it now for some reason. I don't know why. And
it's a thing,
especially when you're going to like Crete or something like that. So you've got the whole med.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, if we crash,
what a body, what a land.
I'm just working out where we would land. Would it be close to land? Not that I'm going to fucking survive anyway, so I'm
You'd be
really
surprised, man. A plane, unless it's something really goes wrong, in which case you're fucked anyway.
Yeah.
If it's something with an engine, then it could probably it can glide for a long way.
Do you think these things when you're on?
Absolutely. I was watching a shot with Muhammad Ali, And the guy asked him, is there anything you're scared of? He said, planes and flying.
Yeah.
He says, and the thought process was
It's
hilarious
not
because it's just
yeah.
overthinking.
Yeah.
He can through everything in his mind. I'm sitting in a plane. It's a tiny little tin can of thousands of feet up in the middle of the ocean.
Nothing you can
There's
do.
no contact.
Yeah.
What's going to happen if we crash? Will I get out? Will I land in this sort of fucking floatable thing? What if it busts? What are the sharks?
I do this
How
thing.
long will it take for people to find me? I'm like, this is fucking incredible.
I do this
Mohammed.
thing because obviously you've got Netflix and Prime, etc., and you can download stuff so that you can keep it on your device. Obviously, take it off once you're done because you'll not have any internet connection on the plane. And I actually play films out in my head to see if there's anything like Castaway. I would not fucking download that and watch that in a plane. Another one.
Survives though.
You know, yeah. Maybe I could use it as a guide.
But you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't know how to.
90% of people are not surviving.
It's funny that when you watch Castaway
want to survive.
and the things that he figures out that he can manage to do, I don't know if I could do it.
No.
Like starting a fire that way, I couldn't do that.
I'd be dead in a fucking day.
I'd be
See, and I have to eat.
I can't eat fish.
I mean, I love fish,
Fucked.
but I'm not getting out to fish.
Yeah.
I ain't getting out with a spear and try to catch fish. I'd be fucking dead.
Yeah.
I'm not cut out for an apocalypse. I'd be gone.
Yeah.
I like to think in my head, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'd be like Daryl Dixon. I wouldn't. I'd be like one of the extras that's a zombie immediately. I'm fucking dead. Done. I have to eat every 3 hours and I'm fucking like crippled.
Yeah, I get headaches and stuff like
Genuinely,
that. Yeah.
I'm not cut out for it. Vladimir Putin knows the West. He knows that Europe are a bunch of soft arseholes now and it's done. He knows he can wait it out and if needs must, he'll just cut energy supply here and there. If not, the CIA will do it and frame him for it. But either way, we
Take
will
out your
freeze.
internet.
We will freeze and we will be done.
Yeah.
The Russians are
I think you'd be
infinitesimally harder than us.
surprised if it took people's internet out. I think
Stephen,
it would collapse.
that's something that's in my future. Very slow internet for a couple of days. I may have to use the phone to try and stream. Apparently 4G. So I'm going to have to try and link my phone as a hotspot to do streaming.
John here in Mexico, 86.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be Beirut in 19 fucking, I don't know.
Those delays. You remember those?
One
when
of the
it used to
million
be,
times that Israel attacked them.
You know, someone would ask a question and the person on the other line would be like, it'd be a delay before, and they'd always have their finger up to the real it is, and then the dancer like within the minute. Yeah,
So Stephen, what was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed that. Yeah. What about yourself, John? I think we've lost him. Oh no, he's right. Sorry. That's what it was like. Yeah.
That is
Exactly
what it's going to
that,
be like. Hopefully not. Hopefully it'll be all right. And they can get it sorted out pretty quickly and we'll back
I'm fair
cooking.
batting through a spearman. It's really
Yeah,
good.
so am I. Yeah, it's very good. I love it, Kingfisher.
Yeah.
The only time I ever drink it is usually in the New Anand, which is a
Yeah.
great Indian restaurant. I think Cinnamon Club, closer to home, they don't serve Kingfisher. I think it's the other one, Cobra,
Cobra, yeah.
which I do enjoy as well.
It's okay, yeah, but Lao Tufan was the one that I really liked,
Yeah.
and I can't get it anywhere. It wasn't even a genuine Indian beer. It's funny because I was talking to Anna Mia when
Who
she
loves
first
the beer.
joined us, and she's saying she likes the beer, she likes Kingfisher and stuff like that. And I was telling her about Lao Tufan, thinking she would know what it was.
Is that the equivalent of a tikka masala?
Yeah.
Fucking fraud.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we always think, you know, that it's sort of authentic, that isn't. And when I looked it up, I think it was the same brewers that had Coors and stuff like that.
Oh,
You know,
Jesus, it's American.
so I was like, okay, but still a good beer, to be fair. But then again, every beer is good with a curry, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is; it goes down really well with it.
Need to go back there now and then. It's been too long.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you've been more recent than I have to be
I
fair.
have, yeah. I mean, it's new
Is it still
ownership,
good?
but it's the food's
Yeah.
incredible, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the food. I love Indian food. Could eat it all the time.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
eat it all day.
Yeah.
It's got to be better than the shite we're eating.
Yeah.
I don't know what shite
I've
we
not
eat.
made a curry in a while, do you know that? I'll have to
Yeah.
get back into the curries.
Yeah,
I always liked that korma. I think you made it as well, Joe.
yeah.
That from that recipe, I think it was
The
Chef
Glasgow guy,
Ajay
yeah.
Kumar, yeah.
Yeah,
Fantastic chef, yeah.
I'm a Pasanda man, but I like heat.
You do, yeah. Yeah.
So I like the South Indian garlic chicken curries and whatnot. I'm into that. I do like a bit of heat in my life. As I say, my great grandmother is from India. I'm 2% Indian, whatever the fuck that means. And I thank her
John, I'm
for
going
my ability to handle heat.
to do a Billy Connolly here and bring this back round before we went off on a technology quest.
Talk about the Beatles.
We're talking about AI.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Peter Jackson thing. I hope he does do those 2 other tracks. But The other thing I was wanting to talk about, I don't know if we can do this on screen or not.
We're going to bring it up and out.
It was John and I went down this rabbit hole of watching some really disturbing AI, within films.
Sheer fucking terror.
Do you know the Gal Gadot one, the one with the teeth?
Absolutely,
that's still in my head. But there was one I saw the other day.
Is that AI?
It was Ronaldo eating footballs.
Stephen,
Have you seen that?
No, I've not, but it puts me in mind of another thing that my sister, type of thing she loves to send to me, because she's fucking demented in that way. Prior to the onset of AI, it may have been AI, but I don't think so. Just thousands of naked fat people multiplying, generated. You know what I'm talking about? You seen this? Bald fat people generating. They're all doing weird dances and movements. It's just fucking odd.
Is it Stellan Skarsgård?
No, it's not. No, but it's equivalent to him. Just random, fucking CG characters, and they're just there's thousands of them. Fucking demented.
They're really, really
Put
weird.
me in mind of that.
I think it's one of those. I think you said,
that's
John.
Fucking bizarre. That is haunting what I'm watching just now. That's Robocop.
That's like that film with Will Smith.
Yeah, Hi Robot.
Yeah.
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina as well. Yeah, that was a great film. It posed the question, didn't it? In terms of, but yeah, you said. Do you remember that program Kevin and I were in about this time last year or 2 years ago? I can't remember.
I think it was 2 years.
It was an image generator.
Yeah.
And you said that once you see these, your brain never forgets what you see.
Brain never ever forgets a face.
Yeah.
Your brain picks up in every single face that it sees on a daily basis, and it stores it subconsciously.
Yeah.
And that's what I think happens when you go to sleep at night. You kind of access. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. No one knows what dreams are. That's one of the great enigmas of life, consciousness. What the fuck is sleeping? It's one of the weird. What is life in general? I mean, what is going on? It's fucking bizarre. I'd be driving along the road sometimes. I'm just sitting thinking, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah, running about mad. Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
What is the point of this? Why?
In the grand scale of things, yeah.
Just
yeah,
why?
I do that.
What is the fucking point of this entire? What does it mean?
I think with all the trouble that's been going on in the world lately as well, you're like, what is the fucking point of getting out of my bed?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like...
But dreaming.
Yeah. Dreaming is weird, yeah.
You go to sleep and you're just gone for fucking 8 hours and it goes by like that.
You know, you can wake up and it stays with you, you know, and within about a day you totally forget what it was about. But there's ones where I've woke up right away and I can't remember what it was, but it's in the tip of my tongue.
Do you know what causes that? It's actually the same chemical that I think is involved in people with dementia and Alzheimer's. It's the same sort of chemical response. I think the brain creates a certain chemical that it causes you to immediately forget sort of dreams and whatnot. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm sure I read it.
It's in the moment.
It's a similar sort of chemical. Obviously it overloads, and I think there's calcification in people with those sort of brain conditions, and it causes that to become permanent. I'm not a fucking neurologist by any means, but I did read that. Shall we bring this up? Do you think we can get away with this?
I think we should maybe credit the chap who put this together.
Well, the guy who put it together is AI Flick Nips.
Yeah,
so
big channel in comparison to ours, John.
Harley, can you stop linking your paw, mate? There's just no need for it ever.
A great collection of videos in there.
Yeah. We're going to be full screen. I don't know how this will play out. I'm not going to lie, but we'll go for it.
Yeah.
Just demented. Yeah. Absolutely fucking demented nonsense. This in particular.
I told
we'll watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about here.
You can see the change.
Die for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Obviously, his face shape.
Just to be clear, people like to criticise these CGI houses and what the work they've been doing with Disney. Certainly not in fucking Endgame or I'm blanking on the other one, Infinity War. Which that's from.
It's almost morphing into what do you call him? Jarvis. What was it called?
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, the character. Vision.
Vision. Yeah. Yeah, which is ironic what he does to Vision after that. Fucking mauls him.
Yeah.
But the slag off the CG and it being terrible, you see here that maybe terrible, it's still cut above, isn't it?
A little bit.
It was. See, now I'm going to get a post. Enough. The eye. As if he's not demented enough.
I thought my jokes were bad.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't have my boy here pull your head off.
Agree,
How about a magic trick?
Yeah, right.
Rubber gloves.
Yeah, that's Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's blank on her name.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee. I was going to say Sigourney Weaver. The other one, Jamie Lee
So what
Curtis.
kind of guitar is that?
It seems to be a Telecaster mixed with a classical fucking South American guitar, nylon strings. Don't know what the inlays are. Don't know what the fuck this is. A piezo pickup, perhaps. I don't know. I'm looking too deep into this. It's just AI ball.
Any strings are there? I think we've got strings
1, 2,
right.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
There's 6 tuners.
Got the strings right, but couldn't get the fingers right.
Get the strings right, but certainly not get the tuning.
I've got a missing hand.
Yeah, exactly. The tuners are not matching up.
That's all about.
Completely fucked it, but it's definitely a Telecaster.
You fell out of the sky.
Totally changes into Chris Pratt there.
Chris Pratt would like that.
You're a man.
Yeah. I think that's it, isn't it?
That's terrific.
That's
terrifying,
like fucking what's it called? Greta and Hansel.
That's on Gretel, yeah.
Like Hansel and Greta.
Yeah.
That sort of German folklore stuff where lore stuff where you've got like the witch and just the crooked teeth. I mean, what in the fuck is that? That's just sheer hell.
Yeah.
But Stephen, it's mental. We've been talking about AI.
John, probably
For a long
one
time.
more is probably the Ronaldo AI one.
Yeah.
'Cause this,
I'm going to get the intro again, sadly. What's that?
Ronaldo AI eating football. It's actually a narrative to this one as well.
Why is it coming up with Messi? What? Eating football?
Eating
I don't know what that is. Eating a football. Eating a
That's
football.
one of the ones.
What the fuck is this? He's laughing at him as well. Well, yeah, I mean, Ronaldo would never do this shit.
It was like weird. It was just like he was biting into footballs. I don't know. It's one of those ones. Probably can't find it. It's probably
That's disappointing.
yeah.
Disappointed.
I thought you would have liked that one, John. But yeah,
Do you remember that, Stephen? That's a random one. I think it was like some weird Conan spin-off. Bond guy, and he read... he's reading the script, and it's supposed to be the emotions that he's conveying in that moment, and he read it out. Disappointed! You remember that? Have you seen that?
No.
Need to try and find that quickly. Disappointed. I don't know if I'll get away with it. I fucking now try to spell disappointed. It should. It's Hercules. It's a fucking out. It's like a fucking thing we behind the scenes. Bring it up briefly. Very briefly. If we get struck, then it's my fault.
yeah.
We won't. Just to be clear, this is Odd Tomato who created this. It's not our fault. He's shared this on the internet.
So
We're just
subscribe
reacting
to his channel.
Yeah, subscribe to his channel. Go for him. Right, it's nothing to do with us. We're just reacting to this incredible piece of acting from this guy. I forget his name.
Wait a minute. This isn't my world. Disappointed!
It sounds like a Nickelback intro, doesn't it?
Disappointed.
I can imagine them singing a song like that.
I can imagine the casting crew afterwards having to gently break it into him that that's not what you were meant to do, mate. You're meant to be disappointed. You're meant to look disappointed. You're
It
meant
was
to
in
go,
the script saying disappointed. He's called it out.
yeah, he shouted it out.
It's like Joey, wasn't it? Mind when he was doing the sort of script reading with Jeff Goldblum's
Yeah,
character?
that's
And he
exactly
went-
what it's like.
He said long pause.
Yeah.
And Jeff's character's like, you're not meant to say that. And he's like, all right, I thought that was the name of the character. Like he was a Native American or something. I don't think you could get away with that in French.
Tribal
eh?
leader, long pause. I know, I mean, it's absolute, that's a Joey Tribbiani in real life, 100%. Stephen, I don't know if you want to touch upon Snow
Yeah,
White.
this is something we watched earlier on, John,
This
before
is,
we came on
it's
air.
just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's random, this show's random. I mean, it's just, it flows wherever we want it to go, really. But I'll bring this up. Fuck, this is the button, it is. Yeah, eviscerated by viewers. We watched the trailer, I watched it a couple of days ago. I've tried to be really positive.
Well, John, anyone who watched our reactions will know we were positive up to the first 2 teasers that came in.
I mean, I've seen the dwarfs in the teasers, and I was kind
And
of...
most of the visuals were okay, but I don't know what it was. Every new trailer release, it diminished. I don't know. It's as if they've still not committed to the final look of what they want the dwarfs to be.
It's like the Sonic the Hedgehog
fiasco
when he had human teeth and human eyes and was just demented looking.
Yeah.
It's the same with the dwarfs. They're just weird. I don't quite understand why they've not just cast actual dwarf actors.
I think it's
one of the few things I did agree with the sort of weirdos that we're going after. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's ridiculous. I'm not going to even... What's her name again? Is it Ziegler? Rachel Ziegler?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to be... I mean, the initial comments weren't too controversial for me. I mean, ultimately, you do have to bring these stories into the modern day. This is a 75, 80-year-old story. It's been about for fucking time immemorial. My grandparents were young. Yeah, I know, that's hilarious, isn't it? If I saw this movie on a plane, I would still walk out. Why should a man, before you throw him from a plane? Perhaps he's wondering. It's almost like that fucking meme with the guy. It's from like a TV show. They're sitting in the boardroom. They just gets up and walks out, opens the window and jumps out. It's like, then it becomes Hayden Christensen in the outtakes of, I think, Attack of the Clones or whatever. I didn't find their initial comments that controversial for me. I mean, obviously, when you go after a much beloved character like Snow White in a film that's been passed down through generations, you've been cast to play this character, and then your initial response is to attack the previous, more famous iteration that people love. I'm not that het up about Snow White. I don't even recall it as the story. I'm not entirely sure what the story constitutes. To the point where when the witch appears at the end with the fucking apple or something, I'm like, I don't even know what that means. That could be Beauty and the Beast for me.
Cinderella, I don't know.
When they turn the prince into the toad or whatever the fuck it is. It's not a toad, that's something entirely different.
I was an absolute weirdo of it.
Beauty and the Beast was the withered rose, wasn't it? Yeah, and he turns him into a beast.
I only know that because I've got kids now, John, but I had an absolute...
What the fuck was the toad one?
I don't know.
Cinderella?
Wind in the Willows, I don't know. When the whistle blows.
You can see we're not that passionate about these 8-year-old.
I never was, John. I never grew up with them though. You know, I never. There was a long period where Disney did not release their films on video, home video, because they released them every year in the cinema. Yeah. And the queues round the block in Glasgow and the Rainfield Street Odeon were literally round the block. I remember we were in the town one time. I was very small at the time, and it was round about Christmas time, and I think it might have been Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs they were showing in the cinema. That was the way it used to be, and the queues were around the door because it was the only opportunity people got to see these films. I don't even think they were on TV. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks.
I think they archived a lot of their content.
But it was just my generation. I'm not speaking for my generation here, but certainly for myself, I didn't get to see these ones, but I wasn't that fussed. You know when Disney cartoons used to come on, like Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck or whatever, I never found them funny. I just thought, what's this fucking shit? This isn't funny. Give me Tom and Jerry every day. The violence.
A fucking creepy bastard as well, Mickey.
The violence and Goofy, yeah. It doesn't resonate with me at all. It wasn't funny. Betty Boo, or whatever you call Betty Boop. Everything comes to life. Fucking pots and pans and all that stuff. That bad animation. You know that thing where they're always moving?
Yeah.
And the hands with the little gloves on with the 3 stripes.
No, Steen, I agree. I was always more of a sort of Scooby-Doo sort of guy growing up. Obviously Postman Pat, Fireman Sam.
I liked all the Hanna-Barbera stuff. Top Cat, Flintstones, loved all that.
Yeah, I fucking love Flintstones. Yeah, absolutely. The Jetsons and stuff like that. I mean, these are like stories that have been going on for 50, 60 years. I didn't even realise at the time Scooby-Doo was like from the 60s. I didn't even connect the dots, the fashion. I didn't know that Shaggy was a stoner. And that's why he was constantly hungry. He was fucking had the munchies all the time.
Scooby snacks, yeah.
Him and the poor dog were getting stoned out of fucking minds. Dog was getting second-hand stoned from the marijuana that Shaggy was ingesting. Zoiks, yeah. I loved Scooby-Doo. That was my thing. I was never really... I mean, I watched the 90s sort of animated stuff, like
Lion King, stuff
Lion
like
King, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. Yeah. That was the stuff I grew up with. Dumbo to an extent. I think that was 90s.
But a new wave wasn't.
Yeah, that was the new wave
products,
Disney. That's what I watched. I never grew up watching fucking Snow White. Obviously, I was aware of it.
Yeah.
So I'm not that passionate about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't really care about it. And that's why ultimately it kind of went over my head. The whole comments of modernising her kind of attacking it. I give a shit. I still don't really give a shit to this day. If it's a good movie, I'd watch it. But she has been a little bit more. I mean, you can't be bringing politics into multi-million-dollar projects like this. You can't be. Wait until you're done and you've promoted it. You've got to be professional. Do your press junkets, get the movie out of the way, then you can get back to saying whatever you want with your platform. You cannot be putting it in jeopardy. These kind of films by voicing your personal political beliefs.
You can go back to the 1960s, and it was something that I kind of did admire Brian Epstein about this, in terms of no politics in any of the press conferences with the Beatles or anything like that. I think it frustrated Lennon a little bit. He just thought, I think he actually, I'm not going to his quote here, but he did say something like, I just think it's weird that this war's going on in Vietnam and we're not allowed to talk about it. Yeah. Obviously, Epstein put it on them, you're not talking about that, you're here to entertain, your showbiz people, that's what people are here to see, do it, and then out the door and go home. Yeah. And then do what you want after that. And I actually agree with that to an extent. I think, just like you were saying there, John, do your job, promote the film that you're getting paid to do.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go off and use your own platform to spout whatever political views you have, then by all means.
Yeah, no one's saying you don't have to be, you have to be apolitical. And certainly I'm sure her views probably echo more of my views in the world than perhaps some of these other right-wing nutters.
John, you've said that time and time again, though. When you're going to see a film, particularly when the narratives, it resonates with real life, modern life, that is, you don't want to see that in like a sci-fi or fantasy film or anything like that. Those films are designed in a way to take you away from your life, to take you away from your troubles and all your worries and anxieties, and take you into another sort of world that you can forget about that for the next 2 hours and just relax and enjoy yourself. And I know this is a different thing. This is obviously in the promotion and the interviews and all the press junkets and stuff like that. But when they do it with, they sort of weave it into stories as well, and it's forced.
Yeah, you've seen it with Star Wars recently.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
There's this straight, and look, again, I've got no issues with people if they're gay or they're bisexual or whatever their sexual preference is. I don't care about their sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word because I've been drinking that much beer and I've not had enough water today, so I'm already like dehydrated on top of it. Whatever they...
I was going to bring the whiskey round as well.
I know. God,
and I had a second thought about maybe John's working tomorrow. It's maybe not a good idea. Sorry for me.
Whatever they want to be seen as by society, I can't think of the adjective off the top of my head just now. Get no issues with it. But there's been this strange sort of thing from critics and sort of like media and like personalities when they're promoting Star Wars stuff recently and other things as well. The gayest Star Wars ever. Would you say that this is the gayest thing ever? Would you say that this is just really like fucking banging on about this? No one gives a fuck about that, man. If the character's gay, so be it. It's not. It should not be the defining factor for the story or for the character what their sexual preference is. That's not why people are coming to watch a Star Wars fucking product or whatever. They're not there to see gay Star Wars. If the character so happens to be, I mean, I always thought Lando was, I mean, I know he presented himself as a ladies' man, but I'm like, don't know about that. You like fine silks, mate. I think you, perhaps, may swing the other way.
I was asked that question about Luke Skywalker.
No one thinks about it.
And I think he was taken aback a little bit. I think it was because, not because of the sort of the question in hand, but I think it was a case of, I've never even thought about that. You know, I've never really thought about Luke Skywalker's sexuality because it doesn't really matter. He is whatever he is to you.
Yeah.
I'm there to interpret the story and carry out the sort of duties of what I've got to do as an actor for this character, and I'll do it to my best of my abilities. Whatever you think of the character is up to you. You know what I mean? It's crazy. People, I think, have got too much time in their hands. But in this instance, I don't think it's done the film's promotion any good.
But it's an agenda, though. I mean, it is, but from some people, it's an agenda to sort of bring this into every single popular thing and almost take over and hijack it, and that becomes the sort of the thing, the defining factor or attribute of the actual show or the film, and it should never be like that. The characters' identity, what they identify as, their sexual preference, whatever, that shouldn't be the defining factor. It should be good storytelling, and the characters fit into that story like a jigsaw puzzle. Whatever their personal beliefs are within the world, that can be, you can fill in those blanks and create depth like they did with John Wick with further projects if you want, but no one really gives a fuck about that. That's what I'm trying to say. Likewise, Disney seem to be just paralysed in everything they do at the moment. Paralysed in Marvel.
Even remakes.
Remakes.
You think they'd be these as things to do?
They're paralysed in Marvel. The Marvel sort of department, they don't really know what to do. They're trying to connect so many dots. They forgot to make great singular stories and then join it afterwards into something more grandeur, if that's even a word. And also with this, they're paralysed. They can't even put fucking dwarfs in the Seven Dwarfs. They're just utterly paralysed. They don't want to offend
John,
anyone, so they offend no one.
Yeah, I said to you when we watched that trailer that the effects on those dwarfs were very similar to the Polar Express, the Tom Hanks
And
film.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
From that period, and that film's over 20-year-old, I think. It looks so dated, and I think there was so many visually things wrong in that trailer. And I don't know what it was. It was weird because I didn't actually mind the trailers we did react to in terms of visuals. I think they got a lot right, but there was just some bits were just glaringly weird.
I think the overall aesthetic I do like. I don't mind Rachel Zegler as Snow White. I don't buy into this shit. She has to be literally Snow White. That's fucking bollocks.
No, I don't care about that.
I think on a sort of whole, the visuals are all right. There's that sort of magical element that has that nice vibe to it. It's just really the choice to, not even the choice to not cast dwarfs, but just the aesthetics they went down with the dwarfs. It's
BFG.
really fucking weird.
It's like BFG.
What's that?
Effects. The BFG, you know the film?
Big
Big Friendly Giant. Roald Dahl. This film's it's an older film, but it's the same sort of, the faces. It's you know they're not real.
It's almost like fucking Shrek. I'm talking about. Am I typing here for fuck's sake? I'm a clown. You know what I'm talking about?
Do you know what I'm talking like that?
Yeah.
But that film's like from 8 years ago. It's the you're talking about the humans in Shrek.
Yeah, I'm talking about the villain.
Yeah,
forget his name.
But there's humans.
He's not like a count, but he's something like that. Guy with the huge jaw and the sort of stupid fucking hat.
I don't know.
Lord Farquaad, that's it. Yeah, Lord Farquaad. It's fucking like that. The dwarfs are like that. It's like, what are they doing? That's it. That's fucking hit. That's the dwarf. Whoa, that's big.
What's that from? 2000?
2000. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
This is fucking ludicrous. You can't even see it properly. I can't get. That's so big.
That's good. They're not bad. The graphics. I'm not saying that, but for this day and age, I don't know why it's when you've got the choice to. This was. That was
the aesthetic. Everyone looked kind of similar. They were ridiculous features and oversized. Shrek.
But that's where the technology was at its maximum at that point. We couldn't do any better. We can now.
I know.
We've seen it. You've seen it in the likes of Paddington.
And it's odd that you would choose to do that instead of casting actual. What do people short stature? I don't think they like to call them. Like to call them dwarfs now.
Yeah, real people. Yeah,
they just cast a real actor. There's some fine fucking actors who are of shorter stature. I'm not going to rhyme off the likes of Warwick Davis and fucking Peter Dinklage because I think Warwick's a little bit old for that now.
Yeah.
Peter's a much more serious actor. This guy can choose any role he wants, really.
Yeah.
He's not defined by his stature. He can really take any role and make it his own. He's that good an actor. Whereas Warwick, I think, was probably defined by his stature in the early days. That he was cast as an Ewok. He was cast as fucking... Even in Harry Potter, there's the goblins. He was Professor Flitwick, I think.
I can't remember his character in Infinity War as well, but he was really good in that.
It was a dwarf again. No, that was Peter Dinklage, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dinklage.
He was a huge dwarf. It just made him massive for some reason.
But it was a good role. It was
I don't know if he was right by a dwarf. It was just because Peter Dinklage is obviously a shorter guy. It just made him bigger.
It says something about because you would be dead. I can't remember what it was. So
he's a great actor, man.
I watched him on Hot Ones a couple of months ago, John, and he was just a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
In terms of he's very grounded as well. He's never let any of his fame or his his good fortune in terms of entertainment and his job go to his head in any way. He seems very grounded. I don't know if it's his upbringing. He's a New York guy? I can't remember where he's from.
I'm not sure.
But he's a very grounded, almost, I don't know if he's working class, but he comes across as a very working class sort of guy.
It's working class as an American actor can be, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Stephen, I mean, this is an example of the aesthetics of the film. I mean, this looks like it's drawn. This looks like a fucking painting.
To be
but
fair, that's a good image, John. There's nothing wrong with that image in terms of the animals and stuff.
I mean,
like
I'm
that.
pretty sure that was in the trailer.
And it's very much. I mean, you look at it and go, that's Disney. You can see it's Disney.
It's magical.
It's
got that vibe to it. It's little. How would you call them?
It's a colour palette as well.
Yeah, it's kind of golden and almost Technicolor, which is of that era.
Yep.
The original was in, and also you've got all these animals, as you said. It's magical. It's really just the dwarfs that take you out the film.
There's a couple of moments with the motion of some of the animals that bugged me. I don't know what it was. That was the mouths. Animals shouldn't smile.
Yeah, they shouldn't. No.
You know, it's just weird.
Dogs labs kind of smile, but they're not really smiling. They're just like doing that. They kind of look as though they're smiling. I mean, they're incredibly happy animals, most of them, unless you've got a twat owner who's mistreating them. I know what I would do to them. I would fucking... Some of those experiments that the Nazis and the Japanese were doing back in World War II, I would be bringing that back for those fuckers that harm animals. I seen a story from India. Some sick, twisted fucker was doing something to street dogs, and the couple were found dead. I'm like, I would fucking decapitate that guy.
No need for that.
I really would. Because that person doesn't deserve to live in a decent world, because it's not a decent person. But Stephen, they're killing themselves, man. When they cast someone like that and they don't kind of... I understand there's free will and it's a human being, but they should be told early doors, look, zip it until the movie's over, and then you can say what you want, because you're really putting yourself up against it.
Yeah. When
you've got the leading actor coming out and making stupid comments all the
John,
time.
What you're getting here, and it's Disney are at fault, is that as long as it is along the lines of Disney's politics, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know, there was a point where Chris Pratt was almost out the door because of his political views did not align with the studio's politics, which was ridiculous. That man is entitled to vote and, you know, go down that line of who he wants to vote for.
A Christian church or something, I think, and they were attacking him because that was his religious sort of beliefs.
Yeah.
Again, if you're a Republican and that's who you vote for, so be it.
Yeah.
That's who you vote for. You're an adult. You're going to vote for who you want.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's up to the Democrats and the left side of the political spectrum, if that even exists anymore. Because there's an argument that the left and the right are kind of the same thing, and they just present the same bollocks with a sort of different tagline or message. And when they get into power, it's just the same old shite you get. And there's sort of greater forces influencing. And I think that you've seen that here. I mean, Keir Starmer can't be worse than the Tory incompetence we've had over the last 10, 15 years here. Rishi Sunak, Theresa May, that other fucking crackpot Bond, not Boris Johnson, the other crackpot, what was she called?
Yeah.
Fucking idiot was in power for like a
2
month.
days.
Liz Truss. And then David Cameron, you've got fucking George Osborne, the cokehead, allegedly. That was not my words, it was Skinner said that, and he was right, allegedly. Yeah, Dennis Skinner, was it?
All right, okay.
The beast of fucking, I don't know.
Who called him that?
Yeah, he called him, yeah, he did. He says he was taking goal. Come on. But yeah, those crackpots. And then you've got Keir coming in, might be a left winger. I mean, again, it's Tory light. So it's all bollocks. You can vote for whoever the fuck you want to vote for. It's your free will, your choice as a human being to make the decisions you want. You shouldn't be ostracised or attacked by people on social media or in the real world.
Place, John, in terms of promoting a film, you're trying to promote it to the masses. You're trying to, you know, gather as many eyeballs on the product as possible, and you've got to put all that to the side to do that, to get maximum promotion and positivity about the film, because the minute you start going down that road, you're rubbing half the country up the wrong way, and they're, I'm not watching this fucking thing if that's what
ultimately the whole
because
thing.
People do that. I mean, Mark Hamill's very vocal about his politics, and I don't mind. You know, he's entitled to have his opinions, but he never does it when he's promoting a film.
No.
he keeps it to his social media, away from all that, and that's where it should be. You're entitled to view your own opinions on anything in terms of politics, religion, your football team, whatever you want to do, but there's a time and place for it, and that is not it.
Absolutely. Ultimately, it won't matter.
Yeah.
If it's a good film. If it's a good film, word of mouth, people will go and watch it.
Yeah.
And the ones who have sort of negative opinions on Rachel Ziegler and her remarks, they'll fall by the wayside because the masses don't give a shit about that. They only care about good entertainment and family-friendly good entertainment. They'll take their kids to go and see it. If it's good, if it's shit, no one will watch it.
Yeah.
And Wicked's probably the best example of that. Because the leading actor from Wicked made a ridiculous comment. Some fan changed the poster to resemble the original, where she kind of had her head or her hat down and it was sort of shadow on her face.
Yeah.
There was a degree of sort of ambiguity over the character's intentions. I think ruby red lipstick as well. And she took offence to that and went off in a whole spiel about she's a human being and she wants to be seen and show what her intent is looking down the barrel of a camera. Just took offence to nothing. But ultimately the film, by all accounts, I mean, people are loving it. So it's doing really well at the box office.
John, I had good
I've
feelings
heard a couple
about
of songs as well, and the songs are actually quite catchy.
Good feelings about this film, to be fair, and I got good vibes from the trailers that we watched, which really surprised me when you said it's based off, obviously, The Wizard of Oz, different spin on it, Ariana Grande's in it, and I thought, fucking hell, John, this sounds...
I've heard a couple of more songs from it, they're pretty good.
She took me by surprise in those trailers, John, how good she was, because I've only ever seen her in some Nickelodeon show called Sam and Cat that my daughter was watching, and she was putting this annoying voice on, and I was like, I can't watch this person. I didn't know who she was at this point. It was a long time ago, before her singing career took off.
Yeah, she's a great singer, sort of pop star. But obviously, I mean, I've heard, as I said, a couple of the songs, and they sound quite catchy, and that's half the battle with these kind of films. But look at the scores are unbelievable. 89% from the critical side, 96% from the audience, 25,000 plus verified ratings. So like I says, if the film's good, no one will give a fuck about controversial remarks or people taking things the wrong way. They'll just go and watch the movie and it will do well.
Yeah, it's
ultimately it's about the content within. I know, it's unreal.
They're phenomenal.
It's about the content within the actual film. The film's
89%. What was that? Fresh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And 96%. What's that?
Popcorn meter.
Popcorn meter.
Yes, that's 25,000 verified ratings. So
that's phenomenal. Yeah,
it's doing very well, and I'm not surprised based off the trailers. It did look good. And obviously, you've got your man Jeff Goldblum playing the Wizard.
Yeah.
Within the Emerald City.
I like Jeff.
Of Oz.
Yeah.
So, and I've seen him at the premiere, looking dapper as ever. Yeah. Jeff's got the same personality as me, by the way. I've discovered that. He's an ENTP as well.
What's that?
Sort of debater personality. ENTP, Jeff Goldblum.
I just love his mannerisms, his little ticks and stuff like that, John.
Yeah, he's quite a
fantastic guy to watch.
Yeah.
And listen to.
There you go. ENTP. Jeff Goldblum.
I don't know what that is.
It's just a personality type. And it, when you actually search it up, it fits me so well, it's terrifying. It really is. Maybe not that. I'm not
friendly.
Egocentric.
Rebellious, disorganised, argumentative, unfocused.
I think that kind of fits me, to be fair. Yeah, I can be unfocused. I have to have the whip cracked at times. But it's the debating side. Very debating and gets off in arguments and sort of playing the sort of devil's advocate. It just fits me perfectly. Yeah. Strategic, enterprising, inquisitive.
I couldn't tell you what I was. Is there a list of these personality types?
Yeah, there's different personality types. You've got also introverted, extroverted. You can have a percentile of both. You can be more extrovert, but just slightly. And I'm apparently fit this. I mean, I've done it so many times. I keep consistently getting that one. Charming and confident. Yeah, I'm pretty confident, reasonably charming. Effervescent, always ready to go. Insensitive and emotionally closed off. I've been told I'm cold.
You're as cold
belligerent, sorry, and is it belligerent? I don't know, and too defensive. I wouldn't say I'm too defensive. Open-minded and original, shrewd and perceptive, flaky and erratic, disorganised and procrastinating, fearless and bold, arrogant and too rebellious. I've been told I've been arrogant before as well.
I told you that.
Oh, I've been told numerous times I'm quite arrogant. I personally think it's confidence, but hey ho. I think it's unconfident
What we got
people who don't like a confident individual and call them arrogant. Yeah, that's just random shit, Stephen. I brought up. It's Josh Homme, Dave Gain. I'm not even going to talk about this. I just brought it up because it was Josh Homme.
I'm kind of glad because until I saw that Queens of Stone Age, I didn't know who the fuck
Josh
this guy
Homme's
was.
brilliant, man. He's an unbelievable fucking artist, guitarist, just a great guy.
I can't take that headline seriously the way they spelled honour.
Yeah. So we're going to cut you off. That's box.
Yeah.
The only other thing really would probably be 28 weeks later. I think I was going to post that. Is this something you're interested in, Stephen?
John, do you know, I so much liked the first movie with Cillian Murphy. It was round about that time when these kind of infected films, I don't want to say zombie film because that's what they are, infected. They're not zombies, they're not came back from the dead. And it was really well shot. Danny Boyle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was my introduction to Cillian Murphy as well, and I thought this guy's a phenomenal actor even now. I know he's a good actor, and it was just very atmospheric, very eerie, and just a great, well-paced film. It felt, and it probably was at the time, a very indie film, probably low budget, and a very contained cast. Was your man in it the Irish fella?
Cillian Murphy.
The Brian, no, is it what's his name? You know how
because when you say the Irish film, there's no way he's talking about fucking.
Because I've already talked about him.
There's no way he's talking guy.
It was what's his name? He's a famous actor. I don't know if it is him or not. It's been
Brendan
a long time.
Gleeson?
Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, I fucking love Brendan.
Is he in it? Yeah.
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah. He comes in it halfway through, and I just thought it was a very small cast. And I thought it was really
as
good.
well. I've not
Eccleston
seen it
was
so
one of the.
long,
Was he
man.
not one of the army guys?
Could have
I think
been.
he was.
I need to go back and watch
But it
it.
was a great film, and then they brought it out 28 months later.
Yeah.
Was it?
Weeks.
With Robert Carlyle. Was it Weeks?
Maybe in weeks, yeah.
And it was really bad, and I was
Robert
excited
Carlyle.
about it because I like Robert Carlyle, and I like obviously this franchise, and I thought this is going to be very interesting. I will say one thing though: the first 5 minutes of the film, the introduction was frenetic. It was terrifying, but it just kind of fell on its wayside for me. But I'm interested in this because one,
It's a
Danny
fucking
Boyle's
great
back,
cast.
Aaron
Really,
Taylor
really
Johnson,
good.
Jodie Comer, and Ralph
Ralph
Fiennes
Fiennes,
is there.
fucking-
So I'll give it a go. Yeah, I'll give it a go because
The fact that it's Danny.
one film was good, second one not so good. So we'll see what the law of averages are with this trilogy.
It's been a while as well since we've kind of dabbled in this genre. I can't think it. Maybe World War Z was the last time. Proper big sort of zombie, like
I don't know, I
infected
was
kind
watching
of
that
thing.
the other night actually. It's a really
No,
good
it's
film.
not a bad film.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a really
Ends
good
up in
film.
some fucking like medical thing
Yeah.
in Wales or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Random.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good film.
Oh, listen, Brad's great. I mean, Brad seems to have escaped the criticism the likes of Tom Cruise got. Sort of pretty boys from the 80s and 90s coming through. And then they try to become what? I mean, Brad's a better actor than Tom Cruise. I mean, that's fucking better
I
actor.
think he's just his roles have been a bit more varied.
Fucking right they have.
12 Monkeys was, I think, the first film I saw
Yeah.
him in, and he was just so
Yeah.
fucked up in it. It was really, really good. And then, Seven obviously was the one that most people think of, and Meet Joe Black was
Yeah.
round about the late 90s as well, wasn't it? But he was doing different genres at this very early on. I'm saying early on, it's probably in his mid-30s.
Yeah,
at
well,
this
it's funny
point.
because I
But-
searched that up. Meet
Yeah.
Joe Black, he was 35. I was
Yeah.
watching it the other day. He was the same fucking age as me.
But you know what I mean?
My
It's
God, he
like-
looked better than me.
He knew how to choose his roles carefully, and Tom, to an extent, I mean, you could argue the Rain Man, fantastic acting in that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of the other films from the early 2000s. What was it called? I can't remember. But
I love the one with Jamie Foxx. I always forget the name of that. The one where he played the hitman with the grey hair. That was a really good film.
Yeah, quite dark.
Really, really good film.
Yeah.
I need to search that up. I think it
I've
begins with
probably had too much Kingfisher, John, but I can't remember the name of the film from. What was it? Was it Vanilla Sky?
Vanilla Sky was in, yeah.
Yeah.
Minority Report as well.
Minority Report. Yeah.
Collateral. I fucking love Collateral.
Collateral
I
was a
probably
good
rated
film,
poorly,
yeah.
but I really liked it. No, it's rated good.
I
That
think there
really
was a
good.
point probably Tom was probably conscious of being typecast into a certain genre. I know he's doing.
unbelievable cast, by the
I
way.
think he's doing more of that now that what he was doing in the early days in terms of action stuff like that. But
Fucking hell.
I think
good's
a lot of
that cast?
people. I think a lot of people do forget that he did do a lot of various roles in the late 80s and the early 90s as well.
Yeah.
A Few Good Men, was he in that?
He was really good in A Few Good
Yeah,
Men. Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously Kevin Bacon, Jack Nicholson,
Nicholson.
Demi Moore, really good in that.
Yeah.
Playing I love those guys.
Demi Moore on Hot Ones, you need to watch it.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Oh, phenomenal.
Fucking hell, Harley. Yeah, I think he's just shot the floor.
I think I said Hot Ones and that's what he's thinking about.
Fucking hell. I love a good lawyer, kind of courtroom drama, and that was definitely an example. So Jack Nicholson ups the game.
Them's away down here, what's going on?
It was like fucking, it was like 10 years ago, wasn't
Yeah.
it? But even then, I mean, fuck.
Collateral's 20
It
years
was
old.
20 years ago, man.
Yeah. I remember when it came out. 'Cause
Fucking hell.
it was one of the first films that I saw Tom Cruise in a sort of darker role
Fucking hell, Harley.
that I hadn't been used to, and I was very intrigued to see how he would handle it. But in terms of preference, yes, Brad Pitt every day, just because I've probably watched more of his films in real time rather than going back and watching Tom Cruise's old films. In terms of Brad Pitt, I just watched his career progression, I suppose, more attentively.
Yeah, I mean, Tom quite quickly assumed the role of sort of action hero, guy that will do his own stunts, and he's continued to do it into his 60s. So
He's
fair
such an
play to him.
intense guy, though. I mean, if you ever watch any of his interviews, John,
know you-
and his views and stuff like that, he can
He
be
doesn't
very.
shirk.
No, he doesn't. That's
No,
the
I
thing.
mean, the antidepressant stuff, he gets
Yeah.
shit for that. But you know
Yeah.
what? I'm not, again, a neurologist or an expert by any means, but I've heard enough people who've been on antidepressants speak about it. And whilst it does save lives, it's not a long-term solution, because ultimately, I've never been depressed to my knowledge, so I'm not an expert by any means, but by all accounts, it takes the highs away and the lows away. It'll stop you having the crushing lows, but it takes away the euphoric highs as well. So you're just living in some sort of zombified state in the middle. And that's no way to live life. Sometimes you need to have the little lows. You don't want depressive lows, but you need
See,
to
I'm
have
like
the
you,
highs
John.
as well.
I've never been like that, so I tend not to comment because I don't know.
No, I mean, some people are really bad and they need
I
it.
don't know, yeah, exactly. I mean, look at Brad Pitt's executive producer roles.
I mean, it's a fucking joke. But I mean, you look at
the stuff that he's doing in the
didn't take
background.
on fucking roles. I mean, but Bullet Train, I mean, as you said, Stephen, Ad Astra, I fucking loved Ad Astra. I think it's better than that rating. Once Upon a Time, I was going to try and get
Cliff Booth.
a Cliff Booth fucking thing, poster, but I couldn't get one. Deadpool, he was in that as a minor cameo. You fucking
Killed off, yeah.
electrified. I fucking hated that film.
I lied, yeah.
And
That
it
was
should
the
have been
one-
good.
I remember you reviewed
Marion
that, yeah.
Cotillard was in there. It should have been a great film. Come with me to London and marry me. What? Fucking met her 2 minutes ago. There's been no character development. The big shot.
Well, Luke got upset about Obi-Wan dying and he only met
Yeah,
him
but
like
I mean,
15
that was a
minutes.
space fucking opera that had to move quickly.
I only wish that Ben was here.
Lying bastard.
I
Been
think
so
it's
many.
a sympathy vote for Leia, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Put your arm round me, give me a kiss.
fucking weird little bastard. And Glorious Bastards, I mean, I watched it recently. It's just a tremendous film. He's at the heart of
Aldo,
it.
yeah.
Buongiorno.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. See.
Just love that. It's that whole sequence, the last half hour.
The
of
other
that
guys
film
look
just
Italian.
went- Yeah, yeah.
They look so Italian.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he could pull off being Italian if it wasn't for that fucking clear American accent. He could pull off looking Italian. There is Italians with blonde hair. They do exist. But the two other guys are the most Italian looking motherfuckers ever. And it's the fact they're answering Landa that I think that's his name anyway. I always screw his name up. He's speaking in
It's weird, isn't
brilliant
it? Because
Italian.
part of that film, you've got the sort of more intricate details of the mistakes that the other ones made in terms of holding up trying and stuff like that, and just the mannerisms and the speech patterns and stuff like that. And then they go from that, the flip side, to him not even giving a fuck. They're saying, Arrivederci.
Arrivederci,
You know?
yeah.
it's so Tarantino.
But that character, was it the point? The Landa
It did.
character, that he
Yeah.
wanted to try and manufacture an out. He seen what was coming,
Yep.
and he was clever. He wanted to get ahead of the curve and survive. So he was using it. He knew right away. That character was switched on the whole fucking movie. I mean, just a joke. You go back and watch his videos, the details that Tarantino put into that film.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking insane, man. Just right all the way down to the shots. Just incredible film. It really is. I mean, that stuff in the basement. He's lingering on the sort of, not alcove. What's it? Is it an alcove? Is that the word?
Yep.
It's sort of darkened alcove, and there's no one there. And initially you're thinking, why the fuck's he lingering on that?
Yeah.
And then the boot. I didn't even realise the boot-shaped tall glass.
Yeah.
they're all drinking wine and scotch, and he's drinking a big tall beer. It's like, that's the fucking most German thing ever. Just brilliant. The sort of symbolism is the word I'm looking for. And the detail, just great. But yeah, I don't know how we ended up onto Brad Pitt, but Brad Pitt's better.
Yeah.
Brad
What were we
Pitt's better
talking
than
about? I can't remember now.
talking about 28 Days Later, and
Yeah.
ended up speaking about, I don't know how we ended up onto Brad Pitt.
I think it was
fucking
World War Z, wasn't it?
Yeah, World War Z, yeah.
Yeah.
Brad's just great. Oh, Brad, brilliant guy. And just listening to him in interviews, such a good talker, such an intelligent guy. And he loves Glasgow. He's been in Glasgow numerous times.
World
so
War Z, yeah.
yeah.
He was
He
filming
literally
there, yeah.
stayed in Glasgow for like fucking 2 months or something in the 90s. I mean, random. So I
I always
Brad-
remember the story about Charlie Sheen doing a film in Glasgow, and fucking somebody spotted him in a taxi going up to Easter House for some supplies. I just couldn't imagine that.
Fucking Easter House.
Yeah, I couldn't
holy
imagine
fuck.
Charlie Sheen in Easter House. And
Oh
it was just,
my
It was
God.
one of those things I just thought, that's probably the surrealest thing I've ever
That is
fucking read.
absolutely fucking crazy. Charlie Sheen in Easter House.
Yeah.
It kind of works.
Yeah, it was somewhere like that, you know. It was just weird. It was
Greenfield.
just, I'm like, I just can't see that. But it was, I suppose it was.
Ricky.
I mean, it was the height of his fame as well.
It's fucking crazy,
You know,
man.
it's-
No one would have recognised him in Easter House. Fucking most uncultured
I used to
people.
work with a guy that stayed in Bathgate, and I'm trying to think. Dario, what's his name?
Franchetti.
Franchetti.
Yeah.
I think he was from Bathgate, and he said to me that him and he was waiting for a train, and who comes off the train but Dario and his missus at the time, Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd, yeah.
Fucking Ashley
Yeah.
Judd in Bathgate. I just can't fucking see
Come on,
this.
she fucking left him.
I was like, no, this is weird. Too weird.
Oh, fuck.
And I mean, you've seen pictures of her in Scotland. You've seen her
Yeah.
at obviously Celtic,
Celtic
Park and
stuff,
stuff
yeah.
like that. 'Cause I think Dario was a Celtic
Yeah,
fan.
he still is,
and you're
yeah.
just thinking, she's a Hollywood star, and I just can't. It's just weird.
That's another
But the
guy.
Charlie Sheen one, probably, I don't think that can be topped.
There's another actor that's trying to bring everyone into the Celtic family, and it really winds certain people up in society. They hate him.
Who's
They
this?
keep saying, I don't know, as an actor, I forget his name. I don't even know his name. But he's a Scottish guy, and
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
everyone he meets, he tries to get them with a Celtic
he's
top.
done it with Downey Jr. and
Yeah,
that.
he fucking hate this guy.
Yes. I don't know why.
They're like,
He
what's
did it-
going on with him? Why is he constantly
yeah.
trying to fucking get everyone to put Celtic stuff on?
He did it with who was the guy that was in Friends that played one of Rachel's sort of love interests. I can't remember his real name, but there were a couple. Him and Jennifer Aniston were a couple, and randomly, I think Kiefer Sutherland was another one that he fucking got sent. They're fucking weird, isn't it? I'm like, these people don't know. They don't know what they're doing. They're just smile. You know, it's just weird. It was, I think, that tartan slip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of dark green. I'm like,
He's just
Is that
puts a
Kiefer
fucking
Sutherland?
Celtic scarf around him. They're like, what the fuck is this? Just smile
Yeah.
and get away from this weirdo.
you know.
Oh, it's fucking
You know, the
hilarious.
best one was that I think a couple of years ago Samuel Jackson was filming in Glasgow, and I think
Yeah,
on the
Rangers.
Monday it was the Rangers stuff
Yeah.
on, and by the Wednesday the Celtic. It just goes to show he doesn't fucking
They don't
know what he's
fucking
doing.
care.
He
They
doesn't,
don't
you know.
care.
It's
No
going,
one
oh,
cares.
blue, white and red, that suits me, and then 3 days later, oh, green, white, and yellow, that
Nobody
suits me
gives
too.
a fucking shit about that.
But I know who you're
football
talking
box.
about. I know that guy.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, he appears everywhere.
I'm going to try and find him,
Listen,
John, while you're
listen, see the thing
talking.
is, man, I'm obviously a Celtic fan. I've admitted I'm a Celtic. Stephen's a Celtic fan as well. I'm obviously going to be biased, but the Celtic support seem to produce.
Tate Donovan. That's
What's
who it was. It was Tate Donovan.
Tate Donovan?
Was the guy from
As
Friends.
a guy, yeah. We seem to have more like musicians that support Celtic, really good musicians from Scotland, and actors. We seem to have the best actors. I mean, I can think off the top of my head, Biffy Clyro, the lead singer, Simon Neil, he's a great guy. He's a Rangers fan. Other than that, every other fucking...
Ross McCott.
Yeah, that's him, yeah, that's him, yeah. Everywhere he goes.
It's like that guy that does the height thing, isn't it?
yeah.
Fucking weird.
Talks up with a
Absolutely
Celtic
weird.
dot on. We've got more. I don't know what it is about that culture of sort of Irish working class coming over to the Scotland sort of thing that creates brilliant fucking like artistic artists, be it actors or musicians or whatever. But we seem to have more from a Celtic persuasion. But again, I'm biased. I'm sure a Rangers support we could fire out so many. They try to claim Sean Connery. Sean Connery was a Celtic fan. He's a fucking Celtic. He was friends with the owner of Rangers in the 90s. It's not a Rangers fan, he's a fucking Celtic fan.
I fucking love you, Marty.
He's a Rangers, a Celtic supporter.
Marty
He grew
Pello.
up a fucking
Marty
Celtic
Pello,
supporter.
a.k.a. Martin McLaughlin.
His name's Sean Connery. He's a fucking Irishman born in Edinburgh.
Really matters though, doesn't it? I think Sean just. I think
was a
I
Celtic
think he
fan,
was
though.
friends with David Murray. I think that's what it
Yeah.
was, an Edinburgh thing
Yeah,
because the two
yeah.
are from Edinburgh.
He was most
The
definitely a
Edinburgh
Celtic fan.
milkman.
Don't get me wrong, I went
It's
fucking
like Billy
pop.
Connolly in the fucking welding thing.
Yeah,
Did it for-
oh god, I was
did it
doing
for-
that tonight.
Did it for 2 minutes.
Billy Connolly, when I was a welder in the shipyards, you know, it was brilliant, so it was. The big one, Billy Connolly. I digress, that's going round it up.
Before we round it up, John,
Yeah.
I think we should just mention what first, well, for the last time, I suppose, is
Yeah.
that going forward, we've still got some trailer reactions
Yeah.
that have to go out, obviously.
We've got that Archie one with.
John, I think
Oh,
we've still
gee.
got VJ69 to go out as well.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, we have.
Yeah.
We fucking have.
Because I saw someone
I
else
totally
reacting to
forgot
that, and I
about
was
it.
trying to find theirs. I went,
VG69, that was the Netflix one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good as well.
Yeah.
That was really good. We need to get that up. Yeah.
I bet
yeah.
you knew what they were doing with that.
Yeah.
But,
We have to put it. I've totally forgot
Yeah,
about
the
that.
situation is we've got some in the can in terms of
Yeah.
staggering across over the next few days, just until we get our set up. As you can tell, we're going to be leaving our backgrounds very
Yeah.
shortly, and this will be the very last video we've done. John, 5 years we've been doing videos in
Yeah.
this setup, and it's been
Used
really
to be
good.
white brick.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, you think about this. This was the first place we did live.
Yeah.
Streaming and stuff like that. And it's got to be missed. It's been a
Yeah.
good setup. It's been really good. You look at what you started off with the purple stripy wall thing going on, and the old setup before moving here.
The brick cardboard wall.
Held up with Velcro. I forgot about that.
It wasn't long enough, so I had to Velcro it together.
Oh, it was funny, John.
That just
There was a
fucking-
split, and I remember Kevin saying, oh, you've done a split screen. I went, no, we're
In the same fucking room.
It's actually,
It's a background.
yeah, there's a continuation. I can put my hand right across.
Just put the same wallpaper on the wall, John. I mean, it's like I know. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Just put the fucking wallpaper on the wall. But we've came a long way. As you
Just put the wallpaper on the wall. Best advice you can give anybody.
don't put it on a
Let it
fucking cardboard.
fulfill its destiny.
Don't put it on a piece of fucking MDF and put it up against the wall. It's too convoluted.
John, I think it was that room that was doing things to your
It was so
head
warm.
because
There was a boiler in that room.
there was the temperature in drinking 3 cups of coffee.
And then the cat had pissed on the lights that we'd used. Yeah.
The fumes were all there.
Yeah. We've still got that light.
And the sort of setup we had in terms of
No cat piss anymore. She's dead now
you
as
had
well.
your computer, I had my MacBook. We were
That was
talking
a
about separate
shambles.
mics, different mics, and then try to align it all. This was all the early days, but
You know what that means?
yeah.
That was the audio tracks, cut, and it went
Yeah.
down.
You remember?
Shambles.
Used to go like that for a
Yeah.
cut.
Wish I did that when I was cutting myself in post. Try to repeat things but do it better. I think I changed a tragic 80s pop band into a rock band. And it was clearly a different intonation, clearly recorded in a different time. A fucking joke.
Yeah, so that's been good. It's been interesting, but we'll continue on and we'll see how it goes. But we've done it before. We did it during lockdown. It worked reasonably well.
And if
terms
we're
of
doing
trailers and
watch
stuff.
alongs, we will be more than likely in the same room.
We'll have to be, John, because
Yeah.
we've seen, obviously, with...
And the beauty with that is, Steve, we'll be watching the fucking TV.
Yeah.
It won't be on a monitor. It'll be on the TV. So it'll be bigger. It'll be better for us. The audience won't get to see that. But it'll be a better experience for us.
Yeah.
So that's something, at least. But no, the channel's not going anywhere. We'll survive. And if I get my way.
Until TVF's bum boys come in. And,
exactly. But it's been a journey in this fucking
pull
room.
the rug from our feet, you know.
They can go and fuck themselves.
We've not done anything, that's the thing.
No, I know.
Nothing to upset anyone.
Oh, you're always upsetting someone on YouTube. That's one thing I've quickly
Was I
realised.
talking too much in a video? It was 4 years ago. Can't do anything about it now. It was 4 years ago. Not a time machine.
Yeah, we
mate.
get claimed the other day as well, I noticed.
I noticed we're getting claimed in that. It was a show as well, wasn't it? Timothy Chalamet one, yeah?
Timothy Chalamet, yeah.
I don't get why.
Some Spanish fucking company or something.
Oh, yeah, it was a Spanish company that did the John Wick one.
Yeah, get distribution rights for...
And gave us a strike.
Yeah, for a stream. But there was no content. Copyrightable content. Bastards. But yeah, it's the end of an era in terms of this room. But when we are back together on screen again, I don't know if it'll be a single shot, whether it'll be a split screen again, but it'll be a different background. But the energy will be the fucking same.
Yeah.
Well, when we're in the same room anyway, I don't know when we're remote how the energy will be initially anyway.
Yeah, it depends if my washing machine's on. I don't have a studio, I've got a kitchen.
I'll get it set up for you, Stephen. I'll get the camera sorted out for you, and you'll look $1 million.
$1 million pesetas.
Yeah, exactly. $1 million francs. What, £100? Thousand. Yeah, I did a zero on the end. That's not right. It's 100,000 then, you fucking spiv. Which is still, that's a lot. 100,000's a lot. So, yeah, you want 100,000, not $1 million, but 100,000. I'd take 100,000. But yeah, anything else to say?
I'm done.
That's going to round it up. No one's commented other than Derpy
Thanks,
to
Derpy.
tell us that the audio
The most
wasn't working.
important comment of the night.
Thank fuck you were here, Derpy. You can't possibly imagine the amount of times we've done streams and there's been no audio.
Or if anyone's watched this, they're probably cursing Derpy for allowing us to be
Yeah,
audiolised.
yeah. It's a word.
I'm going to leave that one. That's my last word.
What is your thoughts? Audiolised. Stuck my eyes. No one's getting stuck in my eyes now. He's became fucking clinical. Beige. No emotion. No up, no down. He's on it. But no, he's not. Take that back. Love Chris. Hey, what's your thoughts on
Chris is stuck, man.
He's been stuck in my eyes. He's a squirrel now in that fucking Stephen King film. He runs out and then gets back. I shouldn't.
I do have to watch them again. They were pretty. They were gold.
What the fuck were they called again? I need to go and search out
It
again.
was the Stephen King, wasn't it? The what were they called? I can't
Wasn't
remember.
Maximum Overdrive?
No, it was the Sleepwalkers or something.
Oh,
Was it? Something
terrible.
like that, wasn't it? Yeah.
God awful. It's the fact that that's what I love about
A lot,
Chris
of
Stockman.
a lot of Stephen King stuff was awful.
Oh, but
like
it's
televised
Chris's attention to detail. He picks up the squirrel running out
It changes
off
his
camera
mind.
and then changes his mind, gets back. It's like, fuck, I do that.
Yeah.
Love it. Fucking right, Chris. But what you can comment on anything we discussed. I don't even know what we've discussed at this point. We've discussed a whole lot. Billy
Yeah.
Connolly to fucking Snow White, AI,
Beatles,
the Beatles,
yeah.
everything in between.
Brad Pitt.
Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Brad's better in every way. What's
Yeah, we'll put a poll up.
Dollar. Some would say he's better looking.
We'll put a poll up and someone
Yeah,
can
actor.
say, why are you not reacting to that?
That'll
trailer
go
I
out.
keep telling
That'll
you
go out,
about?
yeah.
We've done it, haven't we?
We
That
have,
one,
yeah. I've just not put it out yet because I'm a lazy bastard. I'll put it out tonight and then that'll keep them happy. All
Oh,
5 that watch it. Comment down below, like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyes on YouTube, follow button, notifications button over on Twitch to get the exact same content on a completely different platform. What's left to be said, those until next time, thank you for watching us and bye bye.